RFID chip. If you've ever seen one, it's about the size of a grain of rice, glass encapsulated. You can even look at the windings and the transistor, miniaturized transistor in that thing. He was injected with 2 of them. I was teaching class one day, math class, and we were talking about the Universal Product Code and how on the UPC code in all your products, you've got 3 numbers that have no, or 3 sets of double lines actually on the UPC that have no numbers underneath them. You might have seen the 2 skinny lines on the end, 2 skinny lines in the center, 2 skinny lines on the other end. Well, if you'll notice, all the other lines have numbers under them. But those 3 numbers don't. Well, if you take a look at the UPC and you've got one that's got a 6 on it somewhere, and you take a look up directly above that number, you'll see 2 skinny lines that stand for 6. And that is the computerized version of the numeral 6. 2 skinny lines on the front, 2 skinny lines in the middle, 2 skinny lines on the end. 666. You know, how many of you guys have read Revelation chapter 13? That sure sounds familiar to me.
That's right.
Line up.
So, anyway, getting back to Mr. S. I was in class talking about this stuff a little bit, and a couple of the students said, well, Mr. Kyler, Mr. S has 2 microchips in his forearm. I said, no, he doesn't. Yes, he does, Mr. Kyler. He showed them to us. He showed them to us. He did not. Yes, he did, Mr. Kyler. We're not lying. I said, all right. Guys, you know what happens if you're lying. You get written up, and you have to do a report or whatever, you know, the punishment is. So they said, yes, sir, talk to him. I said, all right, just remember, you're getting written up. Okay, I'll talk to him at noon. I'll talk to him at lunch. So, talked to Mark. I said, Mark, before I write these 2 kids up, I'd just like to make sure that they're lying. They said that you had 2 microchips in your forearm, you know, from the military. You know, we were talking about microchips and stuff, and so I just need you to say no, it's not true, so I can start writing up their LEs. Learning experiences is what we called them, LEs. Scott, I got to tell you, I do. I said, what? He says, yes, I do. I've got 2 microchips in my arm. I got 2 RFID chips. I said, no, you don't. Come on, quit pulling my leg. He said, you want to see him? I said, yeah. He rolled up his sleeve, and he tightened his skin here on the forearm and came up to the surface, one right here and one right there. 2 RFID chips. You can see the outlines of them perfect. He said, run your hand across them just to make sure that you know that's what they are. That's what they were. I said, why in the world did you have that done to you, Mark? He said, well, they came to us, about 2,000 of us in our area, and wanted us to take them to battle test and to debug them for future use. To run them through, make sure that they could survive all kinds of, you know, extreme environments and work the bugs out. I said, why didn't you say no? He said, I couldn't. We had to. We had to do it. It's either that or I thought court-martial, so I did it. He said, man, Mark, that's incredible. So they're already chipping military people. Already chipping military people. They're chipping private citizens right now with something called the Chipmobile. The Chipmobile goes around the country. I think there's a few of them. And in this, it looks like a bookmobile, basically. You know, remember the old bookmobiles in school that used to come around? Well, it looks like one of those. And on the side is just a Chipmobile. And they're actually signing people up to take an RFID chip in their arm or hand. These people are paying $250 to get chipped. It's incredible. There's a family in Florida right now that's entirely chipped, and they're operating on a cashless society, cashless system. All they do is when they go into the store, they run their hand or their arm or whatever part that has the chip in, and it automatically deducts that amount of purchase at the point of purchase from their bank account. Those people run Fox News. They're on one of Alex Jones's videos.
Is there a bar in Scandinavia or somewhere where you...
Family from Florida.
I think it's family from Florida, right? Did I say Florida?
Yeah.
I meant to say Florida. I think it might be in 9/11, The Road to Tyranny, if I'm not mistaken. It could be in that one too. But anyway, they're just saying, yeah, you know, we needed to get chipped because of all this stuff happening, 9/11 and stuff. We're really scared. We need to have government help and protection. So this is what we thought we'd do. Many companies. There's a company in Cincinnati now mandating that their employees wear a chip bracelet at work. They are mandated to wear a chip bracelet at work. So we can see this whole trend towards chipping people coming right online. RFID identifiers are now being put into clothing and different products at Walmart. You buy it, you think you're not tracked. Sorry, a lot of Gillette blades have those now. Gillette razors have the RFID implanted. So, yeah, and so, yeah, Myers, yeah. So eventually it's going to be probably in everything. So how are you guys coming with your addresses and stuff? Pretty good? Making progress? I don't mean for you to just sit there and listen to me. I mean, I'm just trying to do a little filler entertainment here.
If there's anybody here.
You can probably stop this now.